Ask Mike Simmons. Hey, I want to talk about nonprofits for a minute here. Okay, Pray to December supports certain charities. When we did the festival a long time back, Pray to December Presents, we support the Food Bank, we support the Cleveland Rape Crisis Center, we support an organization called RAIN, which is the Rape, Abuse, Incest National Network. Since we write crime stories, we believe we should support organizations that fight against real criminals and help victims and survivors of crime. Now, at one point, we started to support the Black Lives Matter organization because it seemed to be an organization that was going to help with, the injustices against Black people and such and everything. And even had some white people we knew that worked for the company and were good friends of ours and stuff, and they supported the organization. And so, a Black police officer we were working with, consultant with and such, and this great guy, actor and everything, he said something seems a little off about the organization. And he didn't know how right he was. There's a recent story where they raised about $90 million in a year, spent about $30 million, they got $60 million, but no one knows who runs Black Lives Matter. Yes, the executives they don't know. And the red flag came up when there was an $8 million purchase of real estate in Canada by whoever runs Black Lives Matter. And the reporters following the story even went to their offices, and the security guard told them they've never had office here. So right now, nobody knows who the executives are Black Lives Matter. Okay. My theory is that it is some racist, no good white people probably who owns Black Lives Matter. Okay, I'm just gonna say that on record. Okay, and sometimes people have fronts when they do nonprofits. It's a bad thing. I mean, there are a lot of good, decent charities. Like I said, we support some of them. But years ago, my mother had these white people who wanted to come to her, and like I said, now white people are bad, but these are some bad people. Okay, they came to her and they wanted her to run this business, and they would be behind and stuff and everything, give her a little bit of money. And she was like, mm-mm. She had kids to raise, and she was more of housewife and everything like that and such. But she didn't like it because she knew they wanted to use her for a front. And so some of these organizations, and probably the Black Lives Matter, are organizations that will put Black people out there and use them as a front, and they will be back collecting the money, and there you go. It's all a scam, okay? And sometimes people do this with their business. Like, there's one guy, he ran a business, but he put it in his wife's name so that he could get, say it was a woman-owned business. Now, it's hard enough to do a business and charity and such without, these bad, horrible examples, where people, who wanted to support injustices against, they wanted to help in the injustice against Black people and such, and they believed in the message of Black Lives Matter. And so, I just feel horrible for those people who, you want to support something, but then the people who you give the money to are just basically crooks. So, I mean, I don't know exactly who runs Black Lives Matter. At this point in time, no one does. But it's an interesting story. So, so sometimes if you have a charity that you want to support, you should be able to check them out. All charities are public companies, and so you can go online, you can check them out, see what they did with the money. And to segue into this, Pray to December right now we're working on our own nonprofit to help filmmakers here, and we have some people who are going to run it who know what they're doing and are really honest, good people. And also, we're doing the second phase of our campaign with the organization called IOB, which is in our backyard. And last time we raised about $3,000 with them, and so now we're trying to raise a lot more to do our thing. But IOB is a good organization, and they're really decent and stuff and everything, and they make you account for every single penny, and that's how nonprofits are supposed to run. You give them the money, they put the money into whatever project they say they're going to put the money into, okay? Like ours was part doing a streaming network and everything and helping other filmmakers, and so we had to, pay rent for the office. We had to, pay internet bill. We had to hire a designer and stuff. We had to do a lot of things and stuff with that money and stuff, Even by the button machine. Love the button machine because it's like promoting the company and stuff and promoting things. So those are legitimate expenses. But right now, I was just reading this interesting story about Black Lives Matter that, makes you kind of like, I don't know, just makes you just, horrible story and such, that people would take advantage of people's need to help other people and to, it's just, so, we'll see what goes on with that story, but anyway, remember, any charity you want to support, you should still support, but you should make sure you check them out. Make sure you figure out who's running the charity, where the money's going, how they're using the money. And that is it. Okay. Remember, there are no small moves, only small budgets.